Okay, and after speaking affirmations over yourself, the more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us. You have just tuned into Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephne Hockenhull, and joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams. Hey son. If you are here, we're asking you to share your post. I couldn't find it. I'll look for it in just a minute. Hopefully you can find it while I'm talking, Gene. So where's the love? You see that, Gene?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay, so I am, like I said, I'm your host. If you are here, we're asking you to join our, to share your Facebook pages, to share this show so that others can see the show. Even if you can't stay here to watch the show, then maybe some of your friends might be able to join in on the show or might be able to join us. So Gene will be back shortly. You can join us right now on Roku TV. We are live on Roku TV and we are live on Amazon Fire. So if you go to either one of those, go to search and then search POD TV space LIVE. And then you can watch us on TV. Otherwise, you can see us here, right here, live on Facebook Live. On Love Misunderstood Institute Facebook page, and on, as soon as I can get to it, and on my personal page, Stephne Hockenhull. You can also watch, thanks Mark, you can also watch us on www.podtv.tv, and that is on the internet. So there's all kinds of ways you can be watching this show right now. You can join in if you're on some of the if you're on Facebook or if you're on our YouTube Live. YouTube Live is on our channel, Love Misunderstood Institute, and also Premier Fitness 0210. So you can comment on YouTube or you can comment on Facebook. Otherwise, you can just watch us and enjoy the show. And if you get a chance later, you can always go to one of those pages and comment if you want to have, want to put a comment. So again, thanks for joining our show. On our last two shows, we talked about parental alienation. So we had a part 1 and a part 2. So if you did not get to see those, go to our YouTube channel, Love Misunderstood Institute, and you can watch those. Or you can go back through my Facebook page, Stephne Hockenhull, and look at those shows. I think that's everything. So on our show, we talk about how love is misunderstood when you're bullying others. And we also talk about different types of bullying, depending on our conversation. So in most of our conversations, there's always some type of bullying in the conversation that it is included. So no matter what our discussion is, like when we were talking about parental alienation, there were a number of types of bullying included in that. And so sometimes we don't tell you the different types of bullying, but we try to. So anyway, so our whole purpose is to educate you about bullying and how, when you bully others, love has been misunderstood. So where's the love when you're bullying others and controlling others? No love. That's not real love. So again, thank you for tuning into our show. Today, our show is going to be about emotional intelligence. Were you able to find the show? Or are you still looking?
I wasn't able to find it on your page, but I went to our YouTube page under the live portion, and I found it. I'm sharing it to my page now.
Okay. All right. So let me know when you're ready. Okay, so we are, like I said, talking about emotional intelligence. So I'll get started while Gene is trying to share his page. So this is what emotional intelligence is about. Emotional intelligence refers to the
Hold on.
okay. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence is generally said to include a few skills, namely emotional awareness or the ability to identify and name one's emotions, the ability to harness those emotions and apply them to tasks like thinking and problem solving, and the ability to manage emotions, which includes both regulating one's own emotions when necessary and helping others to do the same. How many will admit to the fact that you don't know how to um, control your emotions? Thanks, sis. We'll get it. I'll get it put on there in just a minute. Um, so I'll switch it, get the YouTube in just a minute. So we are, so that's what I was saying. I'm sorry, it's a few distractions. So, how many will admit to not having the ability to harness your emotions or to manage your emotions? Same thing. It's hard to, especially when something happens and it makes you angry. You know, you have to think before you respond. Um, thanks, Bev. So you have to think before you respond. And sometimes you don't do that. You get angry, and that is the emotion that takes over. So, son, you want to add anything? And if not, would you go on and add whatever you want to add and then go on while I share?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
All right. Emotional intelligence, EI or EQ for emotional quotient, is the ability to perceive, interpret, demonstrate, control, evaluate, and use emotions to communicate with and relate to others effectively and constructively. This ability to express and control emotions is essential, but so is the ability to understand, interpret, and respond to emotions of others. Some experts suggest that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ or intelligence quotient for success in life. What are the signs of emotional intelligence? Some key signs and examples of emotional intelligence include an ability to identify and describe what people are feeling, an awareness of personal strengths and limitations, self-confidence and self-acceptance, the ability to let go of mistakes, the ability to accept and embrace change, a strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people.
Just
Anyway, feelings of empathy and concern for others, showing sensitivity to the feelings of other people, accepting responsibility for mistakes, the ability to manage emotions in difficult situations. So these are all key components to emotional intelligence. Precisely, Mark. The dog cannot manage her own freaking emotions.
she wants things her way, and she wants her way right now.
I want it now. All right. So how self-aware is an emotionally intelligent person? The The emotionally intelligent are highly conscious of their own emotional states, even negative ones, from frustration or sadness to something more subtle. They are able to identify and understand what they are feeling, and being able to name an emotion helps manage that emotion. Because of this, the emotionally intelligent have high self-confidence and a realistic uh, and, and are realistic about themselves. Sorry. Pause. And my mom wanted to add in words, wanted to add words in there.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to get this. Where are you?
I am now at do the emotionally intelligent have a better handle on self-regulation? And by nature, I would say yes, indubitably.
I
Want me
can't
to
even
continue?
find that. Yeah, because I can't find where you are. I'm trying to find.
So good. All right, a person high in EQ is not impulsive or hasty with their actions. They think before they do. This translates into steady emotion regulation, or the ability to reduce how intense an emotion feels. Taking anger or anxiety down a notch is called down regulation. The emotionally intelligent are able to shift gears and enlighten the mood both internally and externally. All right, so are the emotionally intelligent tuned into the emotions of others? So such people are especially tuned into the emotions that others experience. It is understandable that sensitivity to emotional signals, both from within oneself, from one's social environment, can make one a better friend, parent, leader, or romantic partner. Being in tune with others is less work for
You
others. So
want me to go ahead?
I was just going to say, and actually, I was having a conversation with someone else yesterday, I do believe, that it's extremely important to have emotional intelligence with any relationship, be it friendship, romantic, whatever. Uh, because you having the ability to control and regulate and identify your emotions takes the pressure off someone else to do it for you. You know, um, when you're self-aware, because that's really the premise of self-awareness. You know, you're aware of where you are in your mind, and that helps you just deal with people more empathetically because you are aware of your own flaws, and you're able to identify clearly where you are with your emotions. I think that's
Yeah.
really important.
So, are there?
The emotional.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You want me to go ahead? I
Mhm.
can't find this. I'm leave that alone.
I got you. I can go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Are the emotionally intelligent tuned into the emotions of others? So such people are especially tuned into the emotions that others experience. It's understandable that sensitivity to emotional signals. I'm sorry, I said that already. All right,
Oh,
there,
you.
there we go. All right. So are the emotionally intelligent more empathetic? The person is able to recognize and understand the emotions of others, a skill tied to empathy. The person with the high EQ can hear and understand other person's point of view clearly. The empathetic are generally supportive of the people in their lives, and they easily modulate their emotions to match the mood of another person as well. Yeah, and it kind of sounds a lot like to me like, well, I mean, being empathic. Yeah, exactly. Um, just the ability to tune into other people around you. Is emotional intelligence a valid construct? A highly charismatic person is socially adept and can quickly read a room. It also determines how they are seen. And if you come into the room confident, you attract, situations that make you more confident.
Right.
And vice versa. You come in timid, you're gonna have more situations come to make you feel more timid. That's just the nature
Right.
of life. All right. So, how to cultivate emotional intelligence? We are naturally drawn to a person with high EQ. We are comfortable and at ease with their easy rapport. Uh, it feels as though they can read social cues with superhuman ability. Perhaps they can even mind read how other people feel to some extent. Yeah, because most people, honestly, it's written all over your face. You
You don't have to say a word.
don't have to say a word. I just say a word. I
I,
had
kn-
a Levert moment. Sorry, y'all.
I needed that.
See, I read the room. Now I had to give it a little levity. See what I'm saying? That's how you do it. All right. The effortlessness is welcome in all domains of life, at home, in social settings, and at work. Who wouldn't want a boss who understood how you were feeling and what you are trying to accomplish? Yeah, make the world a better place if people were more emotionally intelligent.
Yep.
Can I learn to be more emotionally intelligent? Yes, you absolutely can. You can start by learning to identify the emotions that you are feeling as well as understanding them. If you are able to name the emotion you are feeling, you have a better chance of understanding what you are feeling. You can also learn to better regulate your emotions just by stopping and thinking before you act and judge. These skills will help you marshal inner resolve and stick to what really matters in life. Let me see what he said. Yeah, I know it says something crazy. I know it says something crazy. It's like those folks who are book smart have no streets, exactly. No street sense or common sense. How much are common sense and emotional stability tied together?
You want me
Well,
to?
again, I like the statement that you made before, Mark. First of all, I mean, we say common sense, but then it's obvious that sense is not common in this world. So that's the first step. No, but just being aware. Um, I'm sorry. Yeah, being aware of your own emotions uh, helps with common sense because then you're able to pull yourself back and not address situations from an egoic standpoint.
Right.
And that helps with the emotional stability or emotional intelligence in dealing with other people.
So I want to add something to get me together because I ain't together right now. So
Get your head on right now. Come on now.
I was finally able to find and do what I needed to do as far as sharing. So, but I want to say something about emotional intelligence and getting your emotions together. Um, anyway, no, I'm not always together. But so like I made a move. I moved to another city in the same state. Last 4 years ago, July 4 year will be 4 years ago. And when I moved, I went to a church service, and the first thing that I learned was to how to deal with my emotions. And so when I was putting this information together, it brought this back to my remembrance today of how and I can't emotional checkup was the name of it. And so it really helped me to put my emotions together because I was still that sensitive, timid person, just not to the degree that I had been when I started learning about bullying in December 2017. So from December 2017 to July of 2019, I was still learning about bullying and learning how to speak up. And so I think that had to come first before learning how to manage my emotions. Because, like I said, I was still that kind of emotional person, just not to the same degree, to a lesser degree. And so, in learning how to, check my emotions when things are going on, that really helped me when, some tough times came that had happened in my past. And when I was, when I was confronted with different things that really hurt and that would in the past would have made me cry and had me all upset and hurt, I was prepared, but I had to get that first so that I wouldn't fall apart and crumble like 4 months, after I made the move. So that I didn't totally crumble. I got the information that I needed to help me realize when things are going on, you can't fall apart. You got to keep yourself together in order to be able to handle and to deal with the situation, because tough times are going to come. Tough situations. What'd you say?
It's a guarantee.
Yeah. And things are going to happen that are very hurtful, but we have to learn how to control our emotions and not fall apart, when those things are happening. And so I just wanted to say that because it's so important to, to think about. And if we haven't did it already, we'll get to that. I don't think we've gotten to that yet. But when things are happening, we have to learn how to check our emotions. Okay, what is my emotion in this? And if this emotion is not good, I have to throw that away and pick up and take up the thing that's going to help me. So the emotion of falling apart and crying is not going to help me when I need to, for example, speak up to a bully, because if I go to the bully and respond to them with tears and with a cracked voice, to them, that's like, oh, they're scared. So then they're going to continue to attack you and continue to do the things they're doing because you didn't get them straight.
Right.
So you have to have a confident, bold voice to respond to the bully, when they're bullying you. Otherwise, they see your emotions, even if you don't cry. Like I said, they might hear that cracked voice. And so that lets them know, oh, they scared. They talking, but they still scared. So I ain't worried about them. I'm still going to do what I'm doing and, keep them in a state of fear. So I just wanted to add that it's very, very important to be able to control your emotions, to first of all, acknowledge, I am angry or I am fearful or I am hurting, in order to be able to deal with it. Because if you don't acknowledge it, you're not going to be able to, that's not going to change. Because first of all, you're not acknowledging that there's something even wrong.
Right.
So
recovery.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add that, and hopefully it helps somebody, because you got to check your emotions. And if it ain't a good emotion, you got to be willing to acknowledge that it's not a good emotion. And I have to, how do I change this? And sometimes you have to change it quickly, and if you don't change it quickly, then it's going to cause more damage to you, not the person that's, creating the damage or creating the chaos. I just wanted to say that.
I was thinking another way that you could help yourself with becoming more emotionally intelligent is by spending the time to journal, to process your emotions, write it down in a way that you have to identify. Okay, this is what I'm feeling. I feel this way because of this.
Yep.
And that process will just help you again process what you're feeling, and then be able to do it better every time. It's like anything else. It's like exercising. The more you exercise a certain muscle or do a certain activity, then you get better at it every time because your body builds muscle memory.
Yeah.
Same thing with your emotions. When you process your emotions via art or via journaling or talking to someone or however you do it, it makes that your emotional intelligence muscles stronger.
Right. Giving them strength. Hey, Pamela Foster.
Hey,
We see you, girl.
girl, what you doing, girl? What you doing?
So we are talking about emotional intelligence. So are we at Can I Learn?
Yes.
Can I learn to be more emotionally intelligent? Yes, you can. You read that, didn't you?
Yeah, sure did. Not bad.
Okay. So are the emotionally intelligent more motivated? These people are able to mobilize and utilize their emotions, and they are motivated to manage tasks and problem solve obstacles. They are connected to who they are and what they value in life, which are foundational for prioritizing and reaching any objective or goal. Knowing what matters is crucial for productivity. Want to add something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so in situations like that, like when you have excuse me, when you have a goal and something comes in, that is a distraction or is an obstacle for the situation. People who are emotionally intelligent are able to process the feelings of frustration and then utilize their energy to do something constructive about the situation or stay the path. Because anyone will tell you it's easy to do something that you love when it's fun, but it takes discipline to do something that is beneficial to you even when you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing, and that's part of emotional intelligence. You know that, okay, right now I'm not feeling this, but I know I need to do it. He's going to put me here. And then, you do that so long, it's like taking a one step every day for 365 days. By the time that you get from the first step to the last day of the year, you've taken 365 steps. You are, way away from where you began. So it's just, again, practicing emotional intelligence by constantly tapping into yourself, like you said, doing an emotional check-in. I'm feeling something right now. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling whatever you feel.
Right.
And then you channel that into something positive.
And then you'll get something positive because you've chosen to change that emotion. First you acknowledged it, and then you chose to change it. And so now, because you made a choice to change it, it will change. You're angry. You don't want to be angry. You want to be happy. So I acknowledge that I'm angry. Okay, now I have an opportunity to make myself happy by finding things to make me happy. So whatever that is, you know, journaling, listening to music, whatever, your thing is that makes you happy. And you might be, one thing might make you happy this time, but you can try that again the next time you experience that same negative emotion, and it might not work. So that means you got to try something else, and so that happens over and over again, but you got to find that thing that changes that emotion from being unhappy or angry to being happy, so to get what you want. So you want to how to spot a person.
Right. All right. So, how to spot a person with low emotional quotient? Emotional quotient, or EQ, or emotional intelligence, is basically the ability to manage your emotions effectively. This type of intelligence defines a person's ability to understand their emotions and mood and develop self regulation. EQ allows a person to empathize with others and acknowledge the feelings of others. It also helps a person solve their problems and be able to influence most people. A person's intelligence is not measured by how many aces they got in school. Uh, Doing well academically will surely give you a head start in your career. But to ensure success, emotional intelligence should be coupled with intellectual intelligence should be coupled with emotional intelligence. A successful person is technically skilled and at the same time knows how to manage and maintain work-life balance. So, how do you spot a person with low emotional quotient? Or do you think you need to improve your emotional EQ? Um, so, signs of low emotional intelligence. Individuals who lack emotional intelligence are basically individuals who struggle with managing their emotions. They lack empathy and are unable to understand the feelings of others. Here are 5 key elements to emotional intelligence. First, self-awareness. Second, self-regulation. Third, motivation. Fourth, empathy. And 5, social skills. If you thrive well in the key elements mentioned above, then you have a high emotional intelligence. Otherwise, if you strive in at least 2 key components mentioned above, you may have a sign of low EQ.
So those 5 key elements. I'm gonna say those again. Pam, be careful. I see you're traveling. Be careful. So the 5 key emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So you can go ahead and go to the first one.
Yeah. All right. So low self-awareness. People who have low self-awareness are highly opinionated. A person with low emotional intelligence will always fight that they are right. They always find themselves arguing with others. They don't want to listen to the opinions of others.
At all.
Right.
You don't know everything.
No one does. And no one is always right.
Stop the presses. You don't know everything. Okay, go ahead.
And most things, an emotional intelligent person he goes like this. Anyone? No, I don't know everything. I don't know. Almost know. Okay. But no, yeah. Sometimes you have to realize you have to make judgment. It's like, in situations where a person is going back and forth, even if they are wrong, they could be wrong as 2 left shoes. But a person with emotional intelligence will be like, look, I'm not about to argue with you about this. Honestly, it ain't that big of a deal.
Yep.
But if you want to be emotional or whatever about it, you have that. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to the left.
Yep.
I'm going to the left on you. And you say, yeah.
Yep. So, low self-awareness, you were at this happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want to finish that and then I'll do the next one.
Right. All right. This happens because they are struggling with expressing emotions or relating to the feelings of others. They are prone to focus on their mistakes and are having difficulties learning from them and moving on.
So number 2, a lack of empathy and sensitive. People with lower emotional intelligence are unable to distinguish inappropriate behavior. They often say the wrong things at the wrong time. They may say inappropriate remarks or crack a joke when a friend is grieving due to the loss of a loved one. They become defensive if you bring up this inappropriate behavior. Since they have a poor understanding of other people's emotions, they are most likely unable to interpret the emotional atmosphere they are in.
You want to do the next one? You want me to do it?
You go ahead.
All right. Number 3 is lack of accountability or blaming others. Since they have a hard time understanding the situation of others and always want to be right, even with low emotional intelligence, often cause problems. They don't want to be accountable for the problems caused by their actions. If a problem erupts, you will point your finger at someone. You will defend yourself by telling the others around you that you are misunderstood. For example, you are asked to prepare dinner and burn the main course. In your defense, you tell others it's not your fault. The person at fault is the one who asked you to prepare the dinner. Really? That person cooks better and you are an amateur cook. Really?
So,
Let's not play it. I'm gonna go cook up another batch though. You know what I mean? Come on, watch it. Come on, I up in this thing. You know what I mean? Cook with pot.
So y'all, it talks about this person, the person with the lack of accountability, blaming others. An emotional bully blames others. An emotional bully is manipulative. They interrupt, they cry to get their way, throw fits, accuse, blame, yell, scream, punish, seek revenge, and threaten. They use their emotions to control others. So, a person with a low IQ will blame others when they mess up. So, I just wanted to add that. So, you want to add something?
Mm.
Poor coping skills, low motivation. People with poor emotional awareness have a hard time coping with emotional situations at all costs. Because of this, they are more likely to hide what they feel and carry this burden with them as long as they can. So I want to pause there. Beverly said here earlier, she says, I sure need to learn how to control my emotions. She also said she agreed. You talked about the journaling. She started journaling.
Awesome.
So yay, Bev. And then she said, acknowledge it and you have a chance. So when we were talking about acknowledge your, what's going on with you, that negative emotion, acknowledge it. And so she just said you have a chance. So I just wanted to mention what she said there. So number 5. Number 5, yeah.
Okay. All right. A person with low EQ, they have a low self-regulation ability. They are unpredictable, emotional, and they explode. Lord. Lord.
They have no emotional control. Go ahead.
People with low emotional intelligence struggle to control, understand, and express emotions. They will react negatively because they are upset and they cannot understand what they are feeling. They have constant and uncontrollable emotional outbursts. They get easily triggered by trivial matters, which can bother them and cause their outbursts for hours. Lord, I know so many people like this.
Yep. It's so hard to get along with and deal with people that, can't control their emotions. Some think it's okay to be that way, and others don't like being that way, but don't know how to control it. So again, like we said, you have to first acknowledge that you even have that emotion and that you don't want it and that you want to change it, and then look for a way to change it. So number 6.
Yeah, I was also going to say that a person, it'll come back. Never mind. It'll come back.
Okay, so poor social skills, relationship problems.
Gotcha. All right, so people with low emotional intelligence have very few friends. Sometimes they don't have friends at all. This is because they are unable to share emotional connections with others. They're unable to share genuine emotional connections. Everything is a ploy to get something. In any relationship, emotional understanding and support are important. These essential characteristics of any relationship are difficult to comprehend for a person with low emotional intelligence. That's what I was going to say. So I would also say that low emotional intelligence and low emotional maturity, or emotional immaturity, are one and the same. A person who has a low emotional quotient they act like a child in a lot of ways because they can't, like I said before, outbursts and whatnot. That's how kids do.
Yeah.
Where they throw a tantrum.
Yep.
So,
That's true, and I never even thought about it, like you just said, as that's what kids do, um, and that's crazy, because of the lack of maturity. So, you know,
I do
uh,
it to adults like I do kids. You fall out on the floor having a tantrum, I'm just gonna walk over you and let you finish up.
yeah.
Get done, get up and do what I said.
So I have seen, I have seen people that have fits like that and have a tantrum, and then the person that's with them, do the same, fall out and do the same.
Yeah.
That is so doggone hilarious. But the first person that did it, look at him like, "Are you crazy?" Well, that's how crazy you look doing what you doing. So I have seen videos like that, and I have seen it happen in real life, and it's hilarious to me because sometimes you don't really think about what you're doing or how foolish it looks until somebody does it to you, and then you like, wow. So I mean, that could help you change your attitude and change how you respond.
Yeah. I love those videos when they like a baby is crying and has
Yep.
a tantrum, and the person does, and the baby looking at him like, "What's wrong with you?
Yep.
What's wrong with you?"
Yep. It's funny because sometimes you might not realize how big of a fool you acting until somebody do the same thing to you, and then you like, oh, Mark said it works for dogs and cats too.
I do it to them all the time. They start barking and stuff for no reason. I start barking back at them. They're like, "Your hair's not. Your ears perk up. You okay? Are you okay? Sit down somewhere. Be quiet."
That's so funny.
I do it all the time. Right.
All right, self-centeredness, narcissistic tendencies. People with low emotional intelligence want to be the star of every conversation. My goodness. I know some people like this. You can easily spot them, for they are the ones doing most of the talking. They would always navigate the conversation towards themselves. This kind of person is so irritating to me. I did my son that way when he was a baby. And I'm sure he looked at you like, what in the world is going on with you?
What's wrong with you? You the one doing all the howling.
Right.
How beautiful.
Okay, so they seem to be better than everyone. Their accomplishments are better than yours. If you are an accomplished athlete, a person with low EQ, emotional quotient, or emotional intelligence, will drop hints that they're better because they are triathlete.
It's not about a competition or comparing and contrasting. Partner, I'm a monster with what I do, and so are you. Can we not all be monsters?
Yeah,
You gotta be a comment. I'm better than you.
right. Yeah, narcissists are a trip. I mean, people are anyway, but narcissists, oh my goodness. So you want to go with the 4 components.
Yeah, I want to throw something in there sometimes. I just want to get right in the forehead in the third eye region. I just want it to swell up, so maybe it'll wake up the third eye. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I said that out loud. I did see that. Okay.
Yeah, you did say that loud.
Hey, at least I'm emotionally intelligent enough to know I meant that.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. What are the 4 components of emotional intelligence? These researchers suggest that there are 4 different levels of emotional intelligence, including emotional perception, the ability to reason using emotions, the ability to understand emotions, and the ability to manage emotions. Okay, I don't know what that was.
I was trying to find to find the show on my phone.
Yeah, the third voice on there. I'm like, who that is?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I didn't turn the video portion of it down, so it picked up the video portion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure, life.
I was trying to see if there were some comments on this one, is what I was doing. So you want to go with the 4 components or you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
I still do.
All right, so perceiving emotions. The first step in understanding emotion is to perceive them accurately. In many cases, this might involve understanding nonverbal signals such as body language and facial expressions. Reasoning with emotions. Excuse me. The next step involves using emotions to promote thinking and cognitive activity. Emotions help prioritize that we pay attention and react to. We respond emotionally to things that garner our attention. Understanding emotions. The emotions that we perceive can carry a wide variety of meanings. If someone is expressing angry emotions, the observer might interpret the cause of the person's anger and what it can mean. For example, if your boss is acting angry, it might mean that they are dissatisfied with your work, or it could be because they got a speeding ticket on their way to work that morning, or that they've been fighting with their partner. Either way, guess what will solve all of that?
Communication. Communication.
Say that. Ask yourself, man, that's all you gotta do. Hey, you okay?
You're right.
You okay? That solves everything right there.
Yep.
Man, listen, man, I got a speeding ticket on the way in and I can't afford it. My insurance about to go up. You know, da, 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 da. Okay, now I understand. And they got it off their chest.
Right. Right, exactly. So easy to fix. Instead of you trying to figure out why they mad, why they acting like this, why they talking to me like this, why they treat me like this. Just ask them. Since they ain't got sense enough to just come to you and tell you, I had an issue. Just like, the example, and just like Gene said, I got a speeding ticket. But people, when they mad and they, are treating you crazy, they don't want to just come out and say, this is going on or that's going on or this is what happened. I'm just mad because you ain't doing right or because you ain't doing the job right. But really that's not what they're mad about. They're mad about something else that happened and they just took it out on you.
Yeah, and emotional intelligence, again, one of the major things with emotional intelligence is communication. Communication. It's never good to assume anything.
Yep.
Emotional maturity would bring you to recognize, hey, I need to ask questions. Okay, something is wrong. I can tell. So, hey, you okay?
Yeah.
And then just sit there, let them talk. Okay, well, I understand now. You know what I mean? But making a assumption that they're mad at you or whatever, it's gonna cause more drama.
Right. Exactly.
Use the power of your words, PayPal.
Right. Because if they ain't communicating, then you can. I mean, just by simply asking a question. What's going on? Did something happen? I mean, you don't want to say, was this really the problem? I mean, am I really messing up? I mean, because then that's going to make something bigger.
Right. Did you stub your toe this morning when you woke up? Is that why you're angry today, Mr. Man?
All right, so managing emotions. The ability to manage emotions effectively is a crucial part of emotional intelligence and the highest level. Regulating emotions and responding appropriately, as well as responding to the emotions of others, are all important aspects of emotional management. We have to want to manage our emotions. So the 4 branches of this model are arranged by complexity, with the more basic processes at the lower levels and the more advanced processes at the higher levels. For example, the lowest levels involve perceiving and expressing emotion, while higher levels require greater conscious involvement and involve regulating emotions. Comment? Okay, you can go to the next part.
All right. So, the impact of emotional intelligence. Interest in teaching and learning social and emotional intelligence has grown in recent years. Social and emotional learning, or SEL, programs have become a standard part of the curriculum for many schools. Awesome, awesome, and awesome again. The goal of these initiatives is not only to improve health and well being, but also to help students succeed academically and prevent bullying. I was going to say, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, all the time, the person is bullying someone else, they are not showing a, a level of emotional intelligence because they're not able to process their own emotion,
Right.
uh, lash out at other people. And that, again, that's a lack of emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. Because again, it takes simple communication. Hey, I'm angry right now about XYZ, or I'm feeling sad about XYZ. That's identifying the issue, and then you're regulating it because you're able to identify, and then you pull it back. Hey, I'm feeling this right now, but I'm not going to at you.
Right.
People who lack emotional intelligence and maturity lash out because they don't know what else to do.
Right.
When the emotion hits them, they get lost in it. It's like a wave. They get caught up under a wave of an ocean. They can't come back up. They get caught in the undertow. A person with emotional intelligence knows how to swim back
Yeah.
out.
That's good.
Meow.
Did I finish? I did. There are many examples of how emotional intelligence can play a role in daily life. Thinking before reacting. I want to say this first. We have no say-so, for the most part, of what transpires in our life. However, we have absolute control over the way that we react.
Respond. Yep.
And that is our superpower, the
Yep.
ability to react responsibly and maturely in a situation of chaos, as opposed to reacting and then making it so much worse. It takes an intelligent person to take a breath in that moment and step back. And be like, okay, I understand right now I'm angry, but if I do this, there are long-term negative effects.
Yep.
If I do it this way, there are long-term positive effects. Which one do I want?
Right.
I want the positive. I'm gonna stay calm. Look, okay, well, listen, I ain't really like that, cuz. You know what? I'm gonna take something, dude. We're gonna talk about like grown ups, you know what I mean? We're gonna sit down here, we're gonna parlay, cuz. We're gonna talk about it real quick, you know what I mean? Sit down and talk about it.
That's true. That's absolutely true. The way we respond has everything to do with the outcome of what has transpired. So of somebody else's emotions. So that's good. That's really, really good. Yeah, I like that. It's so true. So that's what we have to remember. All right, I don't have no power over them and how they're acting and what they're saying to me. It's hurtful and all of that, but I got to learn how to deal with it in a way that's going to be helpful and that's going to make this a better outcome. Because it ain't gonna be good. What I can't even remember who it is. You can't respond on the same level of consciousness on the
Right. The same vibration that it was given to you.
yeah.
You get the same thing. You have to they're here with it, you gotta be up here with it. You gotta raise the vibration of the situation.
Yep.
Above it or walk away from it. You know what I mean? That's how it goes.
Yeah. That's good. So I like the fact that they're doing this in schools to academically prevent bullying because it's helping people to learn how to control their emotions, the kids.
Right.
So if you learn how to control your emotions, then, it helps prevent bullying, just like it says. And so that's really good. They need, I'm trying to think of, they also have conflict resolution that they use to try to help the kids with their emotions. So it's not just the kids that need this help, but I mean, it's talking about specifically schools right here, but this is in all of life. So even, in working.
Yep.
You want to add something?
every interaction, you need that emotional intelligence, the ability to, again, step back, not be so reactionary. That's where we get lost. You feel something, if you act because you feel, but, it's the ability to pull back and process.
Yep.
And act from a mature standpoint.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's important for not only kids to have that training, but I think it should be, something that's offered to adults as well, because that's who the kids learn from.
Exactly.
They learn their ability or lack of ability to positively resolve conflict. They learn that from the adults around them.
Yeah.
So if your mama over here wilding out, throwing pots and pans and slamming doors and jumping downstairs like a big old baby, what do you think you're gonna do?
Right.
Everything that you see.
Right.
50% of our it's nature, it's nurture, and our environment. Everything that you're around, you're gonna pick up and you're gonna regurgitate this, because that is the nature of society and of life. You react in the ways that you see others react. We learn by example more than a teacher. So having a format that gives us the ability to resolve things in an intelligent, constructive, mature way, dude, will just make the whole world a better place, man.
Yep.
No more mass shootings, because I'm mad at you right now, but I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna go swim. I'm gonna go jog for a little bit and run off some of this negative energy. I'm gonna go paint a picture or color in a coloring book, whatever. I'm gonna do Sudoku.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play solitaire for a few hours and calm. I don't know, just find something constructive to do.
Right.
And we adults just doing stupid stuff. Why, when it gets hot in the summer, you gotta think about that. Like, people, first off, it's hot, so people's emotions are already up here.
Yeah.
And then something happens, now they're ready to just go crazy, and it's like, dude, go get you a cold cup of lemonade and simmer down now. I was about to say something else when you're on a PG show, so that'd be nice. Go sit down somewhere, boy. Go sit down. Go sit down.
That's really good. And it's true. I mean, this, if they would teach this even in the workplace, I mean, a lot of people are in the workplace, so if they do this, in the workplace as well, it would really help a lot of people, to learn how to interact with one another and the results of what happens if you don't interact, positively, with somebody. Emotional intelligence is an important thing. You really got to learn how to deal with things in the proper way, so that people are not, killing one another. And even these teens are going crazy with these guns, right now. But anyway, you want to add, we're at the end of the show, so we'll finish this up. We'll talk about this some more next week, because we're not finished. But emotional intelligence is a big thing. We need to learn how to control our emotions. And so how do we control our emotions? By acknowledging the current emotion and throwing it away if it ain't good, and bringing on and accepting and receiving a positive emotion that's going to help make things good. So Gene, you want to add something?
Yeah. So Mark said, back in the 70s, it was fist and knife fight. Something that I think would be, this may sound crazy and a little barbaric to some people, but I think, like, in a controlled environment, something that would be healthy is, like, say if a person has an issue with somebody else, two people have issues with each other, instead of them like going at each other in a way that could be like murderous or whatever, have like a sanctioned boxing match or something like that, where you can get it out with that person, but there's regulation. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's a person coming in, all right, y'all, create space. But I think something like that is necessary, because sometimes talking things out is good, but sometimes you need to punch a person in the face.
And a whole lot of times you feel like punching them in the face, whether you do or not. Right. But we know that ain't the right thing to do. So I see Mark said his brother is trained in conflict resolution and works with at-risk youth. That's good. I couldn't get it out. Um, that's really good. We need more people like that. Should be taught in nursery. Yep, definitely kindergarten. Because kindergarten, you come in, doing what you've seen, what you've been around. That's all you know. And so you have to come in, into a school environment and adjust and readjust to the way things really should be. And Mark said, Mama said, knock them out.
Yeah. I agree with what he said though about it being taught in nursery because, like, the first thing you have an issue with, like, for example, like a kid was playing with a toy, another kid came over and snatched the toy out their hand. Now that kid who had it first is crying. Yep. So what you do is you just, for example, you take the kid over there that took the toy to the kid that's crying. You make them apologize right then, and you make them get the toy back. Yep. And then you give them another toy and make them play together.
Yeah.
And guess what you did? You resolved the conflict, and you also created a bond.
That's good. That's really, really good. Wow. So, and in the example that Gene just used, that is toddler bullying. When you come and take a toy from another kid, and walk away, or you push them or bite them or kick them, that's physical bullying. So I just wanted to add that. We are at the end of our show. Thank you for joining our show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for your comments, your input. We will be back next week talking again about emotional intelligence. Anything else?
Nope, not at all. Just journal. Make sure you journal. Find something constructive to do with those emotions, but be open to expressing them and allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to see that it's okay to be emotional sometimes. As long as
yes.
Yeah. They got those emotions, man.
Yeah. Because emotions are natural. So we just have to acknowledge that that's what it is and do something to change the negative emotion to a positive emotion. Okay. So until next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will see you later. We send you away with peace. We send you away with love. We send you joy and happiness. Take care. Bye for now. See you next week.